If you've ever said la instead of law, or your talk sounds flat instead of rounded, there's one vowel sound that is the culprit. It's called the AW sound or the ah sound. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to make it. Why should you listen to me? My name is Nicola. I've been an American accent coach for the last 10 years. I've spent, that amount of time helping non-native English speakers sound clear and more confident in their English. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the AW sound. So one of the things that you have to know is that AW sound is what I call a hybrid sound. Meaning of that is you have ah, like an open long ah on one end, and then you have o on the other. So the mistake that most people end up making is that they end up saying o. Now, if you go and equate everything where you need to say aw to o, you're going to sound distinctly Russian. My boss drinks coffee in the office type of thing. And my students love it when I do this, but there is a very, very easy way to avoid that. Now, how do you want to create this sound? It's very easy. Because it's a hybrid sound of ah and o, you want to go ahead and have both physical characteristics, and your facial muscles need to move in a certain way so that they take best of the both worlds. So from the ah, we are going to steal the jaw drop. So the ah, ah. However, from the o, we are going to steal that lip rounded shape. So something like. So we're going to do this with the lips and then drop our jaw while keeping the lips rounded. So something like this. And then you want to say ah while keeping that position. So not o, but ah, ah. Now, when we talk about the spelling variations, this is, an instance where people start freaking out a little bit because AW sound can be spelled in 5 different ways. So option number 1, you can spell it with the letter A. So think Tall. So somebody is a tall person. So not tall, but tall. You can also, grab your phone and you can call somebody, all right? Or, you can fall down the stairs. That's the first example that came to my mind. So that is the letter A. The letter O is the second one. Now, again, you can use the examples that I've already given you for the, my boss drinks coffee. So my boss drinks coffee in the office. So office, coffee, boss. That is the O. Number 3 is going to be OU. So things like I bought a new bag or a new computer, or she sought after him. So bought, sought. Number 4 is going to be AU. Basically, if you see AU, it is pretty much always the AW sound. So you don't even have to think, about this too much. So autumn, Auburn, automatic, aubergine, and everything else with AU. So that's pretty simple. And then finally, you have the AW sound. So think awesome, awkward, awful, and like law, paw, saw, and many, many others. So again, your biggest mistake here is going to be to make a mistake on the side of the O. You don't want to do that. You want to, if you're going to make a mistake, you're better off making a mistake on the side of the ah because of something that we call caught merger. What that is a phonetical phenomenon where some areas of the United States, predominantly AW and AH, so the long ah, they're pronounced the same in some regions. Now, it's about 60-40, the distribution of, where and how people say this. So you're very, very likely to hear, for example, if you go to New York, you're likely to hear, not office, but office. So with the long ah. That can happen. Again, it's not something that you should worry about too much as long as you are avoiding the o. So if this helped and you want, somebody to coach you and to work through the rest of your accent with you one-on-one in a very hyper-personalized manner, I do offer a free accent assessment. Link is below that like button. And if you want more structured practice with feedback along the way, where you get to do things a little bit more by yourself, check out Internetic Accent Studio on School. Even if you don't book a session, at least you're going to know exactly where your accent stands. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.